Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. Ever since Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012, there has been a concerted effort in the books, in the comics, most famously in TV shows like The Mandalorian, Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka and Book of Boba Fett, to create a unified singular canon that bridges the gap between Episode 6 Return of the Jedi and Episode 7 The Force Awakens, the very first, and I would say most popular in terms of reception, Disney Star Wars movie. This often involved wiping away the old expanded universe and replacing it with a carefully curated selection of books, comics, TV shows, and even video games. Lucasfilm has been fleshing out key events, but amidst all of this, there is an interesting tug-of-war going on. Even though there is a focus on the newer characters, they still want to sprinkle in some of the original trilogy heroes before their eventual deaths, in this time period between Episode 6 and 7, and so they're reconciling the old with the new, and sometimes this means reintroducing elements from Legends. But in the case of the Mandoverse, especially looking ahead to The Mandalorian and Grogu, Dave Filoni's movie, the characters first introduced in Star Wars Rebels are the ones really taking center stage, even if Luke occasionally has a cameo. Out of narrative focus, convenience, and the cost of the technology to bring them to life, the original trio is taking a back seat, and nowadays they really only have prominence in the pages of comic books. That being said, Lucasfilm realized with the introduction of various Rebel characters alive during that time, they had to start answering the question of where were they during key events. And a few years ago, in the most obscure animation, we had a canon interaction between two fan favourites, two characters who may very well meet again in a live-action Mandoverse project. And it all stemmed from a classic Star Wars question: who is the best pilot in the galaxy? This is a fun and passionate topic amongst fans. Original trilogy fans say Han Solo. Captain of the Millennium Falcon, he is one of the most prolific pilots in the entire universe. Known for his incredible flying skills and quick thinking. Known for pulling off the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. In both canon and the expanded universe, Han Solo displays remarkable skills in dogfights, navigating asteroid fields, and outsmarting Imperial forces. I would say his greatest strength is improvisation under pressure. Then you have fans, especially prequel fans, who say it's Anakin. A child prodigy pod racer, he was an exceptional pilot even before he became a Jedi. There are some arguments to be made about Lando, Jango Fett, Wedge Antilles. However, in more recent times, some fans argue Hera Syndulla. With her tactical prowess, you can understand why she's such a popular pick. Leader of the Ghost Crew, an incredible asset of the Rebellion and now the New Republic. And did you know Hera Syndulla is Dave Filoni's choice? He may have once described Anakin Skywalker as the best Jedi of all time, but when it comes to piloting, as exemplified in Rebels, The Bad Batch, and Ahsoka, he gives the award to Space Mum herself, Hera Syndulla. And not just this, Filoni thought so highly of Hera's abilities that he gave her a canon rivalry with Han Solo. In fact, the two characters have a very interesting interaction on Endor after Episode 6. In Star Wars Rebels, we see the Ghost Crew meeting Leia Organa, Lando Calrissian, but Hera meeting Han takes place in Forces of Destiny. The Ewoks of Endor attempted to roast several captured stormtroopers. They were stopped by Han and Leia, who convinced them to spare the lives of the prisoners in return for receiving ration sticks through the auspices of General Syndulla, who was there on Endor as well. Syndulla agreed to provide the ration sticks on one condition: Han Solo had to admit the Ghost is superior to the Millennium Falcon, and this really brought to light the competitiveness between the two characters, even if they were friends, even if they were on the same side. I would love to see them interact in live action. While Han Solo might be better known for his bold, daring flying, Hera Syndulla demonstrates a more tactical, precise approach to piloting. She doesn't always rely on flashy maneuvers, but instead focuses on achieving the mission's objectives. But I want to ask you guys, who do you think is the best pilot in all of Star Wars? Let me know down below. General Syndulla is going to play a very important role in Ahsoka Season 2. Ahsoka and Sabine are stranded in the Second Galaxy, and I theorize this was a deliberate decision by Dave Filoni himself to set the appropriate stakes. Keeping Ahsoka and Sabine away from the fight against Thrawn is a matter of narrative convenience. If you really think about it, in the context of what came before in Star Wars Rebels, aside from being allied with the New Republic, Ahsoka Tano has no personal stake in the fight against Thrawn. On the other hand, Ezra and Hera do. Ahsoka's journey is one of spirituality and mysticism. The fight back home concerns Mon Mothma, Hera, Ezra, Carson Tava, Mando. But for the moment, and I'm not saying they're not going to meet near the end, she has no history with Thrawn. If anything, she's going to play the role of a spiritual mentor to Sabine. She was once part of the rebellion, but like Dave Filoni said, the main thorn in Thrawn's side is going to be Hera, not Ahsoka. General Syndulla is the one who has to deal with the threat. I have a feeling Ahsoka's going to return to the known galaxy for the final showdown, the big endgame-style fight in Dave Filoni's movie. But for the meantime, in Ahsoka Season 2, the New Republic forces have to figure out a plan for themselves, and judging from the first season, they're very afraid. But they're not alone. They have Mandalore, Plaisir 15, not to mention the likes of Zeb, Ezra, and even Luke. We're going to see plenty of what Ahsoka and Sabine are up to following what Baylan is doing, but what I'm saying is, in Ahsoka Season 2 there are two different subplots. And so returning to Hera's interactions with Han, I would love to see some of those diplomatic conversations, tactical interactions between the generals. You know, they might have a feud about each other's ships, but I have a feeling, knowing his personality traits, Han Solo probably respects Hera for what she did in Season 1, defiance of authority, leading an unauthorized mission. And speaking of new canon additions after Episode 6, in the immediate aftermath of the Battle of Endor, Leia Organa sent out a message intended for the Anoat sector. She says this: "This is Leia Organa, last Princess of Alderaan, former member of the Galactic Senate, and a leader in the Alliance to restore the Republic. I have a message for the galaxy. Emperor Palpatine, the greatest tyrant civilization has ever known, responsible for death and suffering beyond measure, is dead. A second Death Star battle station was destroyed by Alliance forces earlier today. This does not mark the end of the Empire. The fight will continue. But you must take this opportunity. Join us in the foundation of a new republic, to be shaped by the will of the governed. Claim your freedom and your future. Help is on the way." The inner workings of the New Republic, especially when you're talking about now during a time when Thrawn is back, is exactly what I think Season 2 is going to explore. But what do you guys make of all of this? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.